Hi there, this is Sonal here, and in this lesson, we are going to cover the basic recipe of EFT. Now, the basic recipe is literally that basic step, that basic process that you can use again and again and again, and you're going to come across it again and again and again, no matter how advanced you go with EFT or tapping. So this basic recipe involves 9 points, 9 tapping points that we use, and that begins with tapping on the karate chop. Now karate chop is located on the outside of your hand, either hand, and you tap here on with your other hand. You can use either hand. Either hand is fine. It works fine. Some people even do it this way, which is good, which is fine. Just choose your style and stick to it. As long as you're tapping on the side of the hand, you are going to get the benefits of this point. Now, while doing this setup tapping, you tap and you say a certain phrase, such as, even though I have this problem, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So now this sounds inconsequential, that why are you saying that? It even sounds boring sometimes, like, yes, I have this problem, I know about it, but why should I deeply and completely love and accept myself? For example, if you made a mistake, so it can be hard to believe that you should be able to deeply and completely love and accept yourself. And does it mean that tapping won't work if you don't deeply and completely love and accept yourself? Actually, tapping will still work, because a lot of the times it can be real hard to accept ourselves and accept ourselves completely. But experience has shown that even if you don't believe in this setup phrase, that you deeply and completely love and accept yourself despite the problem, it will still work. So the mechanics of setup tapping are: tap on the outside part of your hand, either side. You can use 2 fingers, you can use all 4 fingers, you can tap both the both of these karate chops together, and you say the setup phrase. Now the setup phrase, it is said that even if you use it just once, just say this once, it will still work. But if you just use it 2 to 3 times, that's fine too. 3 times is what was recommended earlier in the past, but now it looks like it's once is enough. So either way, suit yourself. I do it normally 3 times, and you can have different variations of the problem, and then you can tell yourself that you accept yourself for each aspect of the problem. But do not be alarmed, you don't have to worry. We are going to cover all of this in the later lessons. All you need to know for now is that this is the point for setup tapping, and the language to use is, even though I have this problem, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And this line will work for most situations, like, even though I have this pain in my shoulder, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I am feeling hurt by what they said to me yesterday, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though at the age of 8 I fell down and hurt my knee, and because of that I'm afraid of riding a bike, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So basically, whatever your problem statement is, you are going to state it as it is, and then you are going to say that you deeply and completely love and accept yourself, even if you have this problem. So that's just how it goes. That is setup tapping. Now the rest of the points, there are 8 tapping points used in the shortcut sequence, which is what is used these days. Earlier, the tapping process started out with a larger number of points, and I'm going to show you that as we progress in our lessons. But for now, as part of the basic recipe, let's cover the 8 points that go with it. Now the first point is the top of the head. Now the sequence of points isn't all that important. If you begin with the top of the head, it's going to just help you remember the points better, because then from then you can just descend down. Top of the head, eyebrow, side of the eye. So then you go down all the way like that. I begin my tapping with the start of the eyebrow because that's how it was taught in the beginning, and that's when I learned 2 years ago. But you don't have to stick to any particular sequence. You can begin with the top of the head, and that's fine. But I'm going to tell you the locations of each of these points, which is more important. The sequence in which you cover the points isn't all that important. It's the location. So now the eyebrow point, as they said, it's not really on the eyebrow, but it is at the beginning of the eyebrow. You go up the bridge of your nose and slightly to the left or right, either way. The same point is located on both sides. I will tell you why that is so, how you can manage with just tapping on one side, or you can tap on both sides, whichever. So you go to the beginning of your eyebrow. Now, for everybody, the location of the beginning of the eyebrow could be different. So all I wanted to know is when you go up your nose, where you start to see this turn toward the eyebrow, the brow bone, that is where you tap. Where that curve starts to begin, that is where you tap. Now you can tap with, many people tap with a single finger. You can tap with two fingers, which will pretty much cover the point. Some people tap like this, like they go under. That is still fine. Either way, you'll have to find your your way, which is more comfortable for you. So you can do this. I know I look so silly doing this, but I have to show you. So I'm doing this for you. Bear with me. You can do this, both the hands. You can do this. Some people even do it this way, so that they are getting both the sides of the body with just one hand, and that's fine too. So don't go too far away from this, but just know that as long as you're doing this with 2 or 3 fingers, you are going to get that point. So that's the eyebrow point, or the start of the eyebrow point. The next point is, again, as you come down, you're going to see a bony part here, not toward the temple, but right close to the eye. There is this bone that's going to push back. So when you tap here on this bone, that is the side of the eye point. You can use 2 fingers, you can use 3 fingers, you can even use a single finger if that's what you want to do. It'll make the pressure very light. Suppose if you have a headache sometimes and you can't get around to tapping with more fingers, which will cause more pressure, you can simply use a single finger. So, and sometimes 2 fingers works very well to get these points. Again, this is located on both sides of the body, so you can use both sides or just one. It's going to work just fine. The next point is right under your eye on the bone. Now it's not in the soft part. I don't want you to injure yourself by tapping in the soft part right under the eye, but it's on the bone. It's on the bone. Now this point is very good for fear, and I will tell you more about it when we cover the meridians, because this point lies along the path of the stomach meridian that is related to fear, the butterfly in the stomach feeling, the pit in your stomach feeling, the fear. So this is the point that is the under the eye point. You have to tap on the bone right under the eye. Again, it is located on both sides, so you can cover you can tap on one side or both, whichever way you prefer. It has been shown that tapping on a single side of your body is enough. You use your dominant hand. I'm left-handed, so I always tap with my left hand. But if you're right-handed, then you can just use your right hand and do the tapping, and it is still going to work. The next point is right under your nose. So you can use a single finger, 2 fingers, or 3 fingers to get that point, and you're going to be fine. And the next point after that is right under your mouth. It is not on the chin, even though it is called a chin point. It is actually in the dip between your mouth and your chin. So in that dip, you're going to tap. Some people get both the points together by tapping, I don't know how, this way. If you like that, you can do that, but you may find it more comfortable to just tap separately on these points. Under the nose point, yeah, some people even do it this way, like this. So if that works, great, because this is going to reduce the pressure even more, so that you are not banging on your face. And also definitely do not pull the delicate skin of your eyes while tapping. So just be gentle. Then now you have covered the chin point. Now this is the collarbone point that I'm going to show you, and now I'd like you to watch it a little bit carefully, because there seems to be a lot of confusion around this collarbone point. So now, as you may, if you just run your fingers on your own collarbone, you will see that there is a bone here. You will feel a bony part here, and if you feel around this area, you're going to see some sort of a U structure, some sort of dip. So come down an inch from there, and either side from there, you're going to find the collarbone point. Now you do not have to be so precise with it, but certainly like don't tap here for collarbone point or don't tap here. So you just like tap in this general vicinity and you're sure to get the collarbone point. Although I should warn you that the collarbone point is not on the collarbone, but it is like slightly like diagonally away from the collarbone point. So there are various ways, of course, to get to this collarbone point. One is when I showed you that you can get, again, it is located on both sides, so you can tap this way. You can tap this way. Many people do it just this way. And many people use the whole palm of their hand. So that's pretty much like, that's going to get that point for you for sure if you use the whole palm. Some people like, take a walk around this area in this way, which you may find soothing if you try it. So, but either way, any technique that you use to tap on this point, as long as you're getting this general area, you're going to benefit. So that's the collarbone point. From this U, 1 inch down and 1 inch to either side, or just tap here in this general vicinity, either way. The point after that is on the side of your body, along the seam of your clothing. You go about 4 inches under. For men it will be along the line of their nipple, and for women it will be along their bra strap. So whichever way you can either measure. I normally measure just a palm's width under the arm, and then you'll still get it. Again, it is not like a pinpoint of a point. You can use your whole palm. If you use your whole palm, you are sure to get this point. Either side, again, it's available on both sides. So many people do this so as to ensure that they are tapping on both sides. Although just tapping on one side of the body will still do the trick. So that was the under the arm point. Now the last point is at the top of the head. Now I've seen many people who tap like right at the back, because I don't know for what reason. So the point is not located at the back of your head. It's not located at the highest point of your head, but it's actually right at the top. Like if you were to balance a book on your head, where would that book be? The book would be here, right? If you were practicing walking and you were to balance a book on your head, this is where you would be tapping. Not here, not here, not here, not right at the back, but somewhere here. And again, it is not a pinpoint. So you can use, I hope I am visible. You can use multiple fingers like this, or you can pat gently to get this point. Whatever it is, it's not a pinpoint. So as long as you're covering this general area, the top of your head, you are going to get this point, and that's going to be fine. So this covers the 9 tapping points which are part of the basic recipe. We have covered setup tapping along with the setup phrase, and then we have gone through the sequence of points that are covered in tapping. Now when we go over these points, we have to tell tapping what to correct. Like it was like going to the doctor. It hurts here, it hurts here, it hurts here. So that is what we want to do when we are tapping on these points. We want to keep our focus on what is hurting us, what is bothering us. And just so that we don't, like while tapping, we don't start thinking about that window or that lampshade, or if somebody is ringing the bell, we want to keep our focus on whatever we are tapping about, we are trying to clear. We use something called a reminder phrase. Now this is a shortened version of the problem that you are trying to correct. For example, if you are trying to correct, say, shoulder pain. So this shoulder pain, this pain in my right shoulder, this stabbing pain in my right shoulder. So whatever it is that's going to help you keep your focus on that, whatever it is, whether that insult I can't forget. That insult I can't forget. So whatever it is, a shortened version of the problem that's going to help you, or that's going to keep reminding you as you tap along. And while you keep your focus on that problem and tap alongside, tapping is going to diffuse the problem. It's going to diffuse the emotional charge and hurt that is associated with the problem. Now, don't be alarmed by the negative language that we are using, right? All this pain, continuously focusing on the pain, continuously focusing on the pain of the insult, continuously focusing on negative things. So don't let this scare you, because again, the thing is, why we are tapping to correct something, so we need to acknowledge what is bothering us, and when we acknowledge while tapping on it, it's going to diffuse that problem. Now, there is more to it than just negative wording and tapping, which we will cover in subsequent lessons, as to when we do positive tapping, then does it diffuse it positive tapping also. How does it work? When you tap on negative things, tapping diffuses negative things. When you tap on positive things, that anchors, tapping anchors positive things. So how is that? This is so contradictory, right? But hang on with me. Let me not get ahead of myself. Let me show you the basic recipe, which is the goal of this lesson, right? So use the reminder phrase that is going to help you keep the focus on the problem that you are tapping about. Do the setup tapping 1 to 3 times, whether or not you believe it. Then go through this stuff, go through this basic recipe, go through these 8 points while keeping your focus on the problem. Now, so this was the location of the points. So how do you do the basic recipe? Now, this is the procedure of the basic recipe. First of all, identify what is the problem. Don't try to work on all of your life's problems at once, because that tapping will be too general, and the relief will be there, but it will be minimal or temporary. What you want is, you want to pick up one single problem at a time. Say you fell down from the cycle at the age of 8, and your friends laughed at you, right? So suppose that is the problem, that is that event, that memory that you can't forget, or that your friends laughed at you when you were trying to play games, or whatever it is when you were a child. Whatever it is, it can be any kind of problem. It can be a physical pain, it can be emotional hurt, it can be whatever that is bothering you, whatever you think is a problem, can be taken up for solving with tapping. So identify your problem. That's step number 1. Now, give it an intensity between 0 and 10. How bad does this problem feel to you? 0 meaning it really doesn't bother you. You're fine. Things happened, but you're fine. No big deal. It seems like a no big deal. You feel bored talking about it. You just don't feel that it is worthy of your attention. Basically, 0 means no problem. 10 means the problem is so bad that you're overwhelmed. You're scared. You're overwhelmed, or whatever it is. It's like the emotional intensity of that problem is so high that you can't even get around to thinking about it, describing it, or you certainly don't want to relive it. It's very bad. Problem is really bad. Pain is really bad. Emotional hurt is really bad. And anywhere in between 5, 6, 7, 8 will vary depending on how bad the problem feels. Suppose somebody said something to you. You were hurt, you felt a little bit insulted, but you are not feeling so bad as to want to go and murder them. So that means your intensity is not at 10. That shows that maybe your intensity is at 6 or 7. And but if you just can't get their words out of your mind, you don't want revenge, but it just hurts, then your intensity could be 7, 8 or 9 somewhere. 10 is like you just want to go kill them. You just want to grab them by the throat and you just want to kill them. That would be like 10. If somebody insulted you and you feel like, yeah, that was then. I have come a long way from there. It really doesn't mean anything. So then it would be around 2, 3 or 4 that you remember the incident. It still brings out some pain, some hurt in you, but you're still shrugging it off. You can live with that. 0 is like, no problem. I couldn't care less for this person's words. So this is how the scale will vary. Now, you don't try too hard to come to this number. Just guess and you are going to be fine, because that's going to be like, what is that number that comes to your head first? Just write down that number somewhere and go with your next step. So now we have identified the problem. We have given our problem an intensity as to how bad does it feel now, right now, where you are in your present emotional state. How bad does the problem feel? Not how bad you should feel, but how do you feel about it right now? That is the intensity. Now the third step is to do the setup tapping. That is, even though I have this problem, or even though I'm still hurting from what they said, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I just can't get their words out of my mind, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So just say something like this 1 to 3 times, and it's okay if you have a little bit of trouble coming up with this kind of set of phrases. You can just do this. Even though, this problem, I deeply and completely. Don't try to make a long winded sentence, because midway you may lose track, and it's easy to just, tie yourself up in knots. Even though this problem, I deeply and completely. So that should still work. Okay, so now you go to the tapping points, keeping the highlight of the problem in mind. Their words. I still feel insulted. All this hurt from their insult. Something. Now you can use at each point, you can use different phrases that reminds you of the problem. But even if you just stick to one single phrase, it's still going to work. Their words still hurt. 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 Now you do this one round, ending at the head if that's your sequence. If you begin from the eyebrow point like me, or if you begin from the top of the head, then you will land at the underarm point. That will be your last point, right? So just do this one round of basic recipe. One setup tapping once, and doing this once comprises of one round of tapping. So then you go back as part of your next step, go back and check where your number lies. So now this number should most likely have decreased a little bit, or it may have remained the same. Now it is possible that the number worsens, and we will come to that, what to do in cases when the number worsens, and whether you should be worried if the number worsens. Just know for now that number can worsen, and it's nothing to be alarmed about. It just worsens because it shows that you are actually tuning into that emotional issue, and you're bringing it up, and what you need to do is more tapping. That's all. It's nobody's fault. It's not tapping's fault. You did nothing wrong. It just shows that you are indeed tuning into that issue, and you're doing it correctly, basically. You see, some problems require more tapping, they have more emotional charge, they have more pain and hurt associated with them. So relief may come, after doing multiple rounds. But for many problems, the emotional charge isn't all that high, or the problem may just collapse very quickly with just a few rounds, or even after a single round of tapping. So whatever it is, just keep doing these tapping rounds, and keep at the end of each round, check where a number lies. You want to ideally bring the number down to 0 in the perfect world, but the thing is, when your intensity comes down to 3, 2 or 1, you may start to feel bored actually, which is a good sign. I will tell you in the later lessons what are the different signs that will show to you, that you can use as proof to yourself to understand that the issue is indeed getting cleared. What are the physical and emotional signs that will tell you that? But for now, know that if you start to feel like you're getting bored of talking about that problem, your intensity about that problem has come down greatly. It just keeps slipping out of your mind. You just don't seem to be able to pay attention to it. So that's the point you want to get at. 0 meaning you are completely cleared. Now ideally you would want to get at 0. You would want to keep doing this tapping rounds until you get to 0, and you may get to 0 pretty quickly, many times. But at other times, again, you may get stuck and the number, suppose, isn't moving down from 5 at all. In the later lessons, I will give you strategies on how to pull yourself out of this if you ever get stuck working with tapping on your own. The kind of techniques that experts use. If you were to go to a professional and pay them $200, $300, $400 an hour or 45 minutes or so, they are going to use those techniques to pull you out if you get stuck, if your intensity gets stuck. But all that is for later lessons. this is pretty much what the basic recipe is. We have covered the tapping points, and we have covered the process of basic recipe, and so this completes this lesson. I would advise you to practice this basic recipe on simple problems, nothing too traumatic or nothing that completely overwhelms you, but simple things like, I didn't find a parking today. I had struggled parking. The weather is so cold outside. It is snowing today. It is raining today. Something small annoyances, do that. Use this basic recipe on that. And I will see you in the next lesson.